What if I told you that you're only one decision away from never being broke again? One shift, not in your job, not in your bank account, but in your mindset, in your habits, in how you see yourself when no one's looking. You weren't born to struggle. You weren't meant to stay stuck in debt, paycheck to paycheck, buried in shame, overwhelmed by bills. That voice in your head telling you you're too far behind. It's lying to you. This isn't just another audiobook about money. This is a blueprint, a roadmap for the person who's tired of waiting for a miracle, tired of surviving, tired of feeling like financial freedom is only for the lucky, the privileged, or the already wealthy. In the next hour, I'm going to walk you through the truth, the deep, human truth, about building wealth from scratch. No fluff, no hype, just real strategies, emotional breakthroughs, and bold encouragement that will shake you awake and light a fire inside you. Because I believe in something most people have forgotten, that you don't need permission to change your life. You just need self-determination, and the courage to start. If you've ever felt like you were made for more, you're right. And by the end of this audiobook, you won't just know it, you'll feel it in your bones. Before we dive in, take a second to hit that subscribe or follow button, because this isn't a one-time motivation. This is a movement. Every week, I'll bring you real, raw, and powerful content to help you take back control of your money and your mindset. If you're serious about changing your life from the inside out, you won't want to miss what's coming next. So go ahead, tap subscribe, and let's grow together. You're standing at the edge of a vast, open landscape. The horizon stretches endlessly before you, shimmering with possibilities. There's a spark inside you, a quiet whisper that says you're meant for more, that you can carve out a life of financial freedom, security, and abundance. But right now, that horizon feels far away. Maybe you're starting with nothing but a paycheck that barely covers the bills, or maybe you're staring at a bank account that's more zeros than digits. Wherever you are, you've decided to listen to this audiobook, and that choice alone means you're ready to take the first step toward building wealth from scratch. Let me tell you something right now. You're not just capable of this, you're built for it. The journey to wealth begins not with a dollar amount but with something far more powerful, your mindset. That's where we're starting today, because the foundation of everything you'll achieve lies in how you think, how you see your future, and how you harness the unstoppable force of self-discipline. Let's begin with mindset, because wealth isn't just about money, it's about belief. Think about the stories we tell ourselves. Maybe you've heard that little voice in your head saying, "I'm not good with money," or, "Rich people are just lucky," or even, "This is just how things are for people like me." Those stories, they're not facts, they're chains, and they've been holding you back longer than you realize. The first step to building wealth is to rewrite those stories, to take a sledgehammer to the doubts and excuses that have built walls around your potential. You don't need a fancy degree, a trust fund, or a stroke of cosmic luck to create wealth. What you need is a mindset that says, "I am in control of my financial future." That's not some fluffy motivational quote to stick on your fridge, it's a declaration of power. It's the moment you decide that your circumstances don't define you, your choices do. Now, I know what you're thinking. Changing your mindset sounds like one of those easier said than done things. Right, you're not wrong. It's work. It's waking up every day and choosing to believe in your ability to learn, grow, and make decisions that move you forward. But here's the secret. Mindset isn't about pretending everything's perfect or ignoring the challenges. It's about seeing those challenges as opportunities. Let's say you're drowning in credit card debt. A scarcity mindset looks at that number and says, "I'm doomed." A wealth-building mindset looks at it and says, "This is a problem I can solve." It's a chance to learn discipline, to strategize, to take control. The difference between those two perspectives is everything. One keeps you stuck, the other propels you toward solutions. So how do you start shifting that mindset? It begins with awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that pop up when you think about money. Do you feel anxious, defeated, angry? Those emotions are clues to the stories you're telling yourself. Write them down if you have to. Get them out in the open where you can see them for what they are, temporary thoughts, not permanent truths. Then, start replacing them with new ones. Instead of, "I'll never get ahead," try, "Every small step I take today brings me closer to financial freedom." It might feel awkward at first, like you're faking it. That's okay. You're not faking confidence. You're training your brain to see possibility. Over time, those new thoughts become your default, and suddenly, you're not just dreaming about wealth, you're expecting it. But mindset alone isn't enough. It's the spark, not the fire. To turn that spark into a blaze, you need vision. Vision is the picture you paint of your future, the destination you're aiming for. Without it, you're just wandering, hoping to stumble into wealth like it's a lucky penny on the sidewalk. Spoiler alert. That's not how it works. Wealth doesn't find you, you create it. And to create it, you need to know where you're going. Close your eyes for a moment. Yes, right now, if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, and imagine your life 5 years from now. What does it look like? Are you debt-free, waking up in a home you own, with money in the bank and investments growing? Are you traveling the world, starting a business, or maybe giving back to your community in ways you never thought possible? That's your vision. It's not just a daydream, it's a blueprint. Here's the thing about vision. It has to be specific, and it has to be yours. Not your parents' vision, not society's, not the one you think you're supposed to want. If your dream is to retire early and live on a quiet farm with chickens clucking in the background, that's just as valid as wanting a penthouse in the city. The key is clarity. Vague goals like, "I want to be rich," don't cut it. Why? Because they don't give you a target to aim for. Instead, try this. "In 5 years, I want to have $50,000 in savings, a paid-off car, and a side hustle generating $2,000 a month." That's specific. It's measurable. It's something you can break down into steps. And when you have that kind of clarity, your brain starts working like a GPS, finding routes to get you there. Creating a vision isn't just about setting goals, though, it's about connecting to them emotionally. Why do you want wealth? Is it freedom, security, the ability to provide for your family or leave a legacy? Dig deep. Maybe you grew up watching your parents struggle, and you swore you'd never feel that stress. Maybe you want to prove to yourself that you can break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Whatever it is, let that why burn inside you. It's the fuel that keeps you going when the road gets rough, and trust me, it will. Your vision is your North Star, guiding you through the inevitable storms of doubt, setbacks, and distractions. Now, let's talk about the glue that holds this all together. Self-discipline. If mindset is the spark and vision is the blueprint, self-discipline is the hammer and nails. It's the daily grind, the choices you make when no one's watching, the moments you say no to instant gratification for the sake of your future. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not the part of wealth building that gets glorified in movies or social media posts. But it's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Building wealth from scratch isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and self-discipline is what keeps you running when your legs are screaming to stop. Let's get real for a second. Discipline sounds like a drag, doesn't it? It's saying no to that impulse purchase, skipping the overpriced coffee, or sitting down to learn about investing when you'd rather binge watch a new series. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't about deprivation, it's about empowerment. Every time you choose to save $20 instead of spending it, you're not just denying yourself a treat, you're investing in your future self. You're saying, "I value my vision more than this fleeting moment of pleasure." And the more you practice that choice, the stronger your discipline muscle gets. It's like going to the gym. The first few workouts are brutal, but over time, you get stronger, and what once felt impossible becomes second nature. So how do you build that discipline? Start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one area, say, your spending habits, and focus on making consistent, intentional choices. Maybe it's setting a budget and sticking to it for a month. Maybe it's automating $50 a month into a savings account before you can touch it. The key is consistency. Small wins stack up, and they create momentum. That $50 a month becomes $600 a year, then $6,000 in a decade, and that's before interest or investments. Discipline turns tiny actions into massive results. But let's not sugarcoat it. Staying disciplined is hard, especially when life throws curveballs. A car breaks down, a medical bill lands in your mailbox, or maybe you just have a bad day and want to retail therapy your way out of it. That's where your mindset and vision come back into play. When temptation strikes, remind yourself of that North Star. Picture that debt-free life, that business you're building, that peace of mind you're working toward. Let it pull you back on track. And don't beat yourself up if you slip. Nobody's perfect. The goal isn't to never mess up, it's to keep going. Here's a little trick I've seen work wonders. Create systems to make discipline easier. Your willpower is like a battery, it runs out. So don't rely on it alone. Set up automatic transfers to your savings. Delete shopping apps from your phone if they tempt you to overspend. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to stay focused, whether it's a friend who's also on a wealth-building journey or online communities sharing tips and success stories. Systems take the pressure off your willpower and make good habits almost effortless. And when discipline feels effortless, you're unstoppable. Let's tie this all together. Building wealth from scratch starts with believing it's possible. That's your mindset. It's fueled by a clear, vivid picture of where you're headed. That's your vision. And it's executed through the daily grind of making smart, intentional choices. That's your self-discipline. These three elements are the foundation of everything we'll cover in this audiobook. They're not just concepts, they're tools you can start using today. Right now, you have the power to decide who you'll become. Not next year, not when you get a raise, not when life gets easier, today. The choices you make, in this moment ripple forward, shaping your future in ways you can't even imagine yet. So take a deep breath and let that sink in. You're not just listening to an audiobook, you're starting a revolution in your own life. You're rewriting the story of what's possible. You're building a vision that's yours and yours alone. And you're committing to the discipline that turns dreams into reality. This is your moment. The horizon is closer than you think, and every step you take brings it into sharper focus. Keep going. You've got this. You've just ignited a spark inside yourself. A mindset that says you're in control, a vision that paints a vivid picture of your financial future, and a commitment to the discipline that will carry you there. That's powerful. You're standing at the starting line of a journey that's uniquely yours, and now it's time to take those first tangible steps. The foundation of wealth building isn't a mystery, and it doesn't require a windfall or a secret formula. It starts with three practical, actionable pillars: saving, budgeting, and managing your expenses with discipline. These aren't just financial tools, they're the building blocks of your freedom. They're how you turn that vision into reality, one deliberate choice at a time. Let's dive in, because this is where the rubber meets the road, and I'm here to show you how to make it happen, step by step, with real examples to light the way. Let's start with saving, because saving is the heartbeat of wealth. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Think of saving as planting seeds. Each dollar you set aside today is a seed that grows into opportunities tomorrow, whether that's an emergency fund, an investment, or the down payment on a home. But I get it. Saving can feel impossible when bills are piling up, rent's due, and life keeps throwing unexpected expenses your way. The key is to start where you are, with what you have, and to make saving a non-negotiable priority. It's not about waiting for a bigger paycheck or a magical moment when you have extra money. The truth is, there's never extra money unless you decide there is. Imagine Sarah, a 28-year-old barista making $35,000 a year. After rent, groceries, and student loan payments, she's lucky to have $100 left at the end of the month. Sound familiar? Sarah used to think saving was for people with higher salaries, but one day she decided to try something different. She started with $10 a week, less than the cost of 2 lattes. She set up an automatic transfer to a savings account every payday, so she never saw that $10 in her checking account. It wasn't much, but it was a start. By the end of the year, she had $520 tucked away. That small act of saving gave her something she hadn't felt in years: control. When her car needed a $300 repair, she didn't panic or swipe a credit card. She paid for it from her savings and still had money left. That's the power of saving. It's not just about the dollars, it's about the confidence and security that come with knowing you're prepared. So how do you start saving, especially if your budget feels tighter than a drum? First, shift your mindset to treat saving like a bill. It's not optional. It's a priority, just like rent or utilities. Aim to save at least 10% of your income, but if that feels out of reach, start smaller: 1%, 2%, even $5 a week. The amount matters less than the habit. Open a separate savings account, ideally one with a decent interest rate, and automate your transfers. Automation is your best friend because it removes temptation. If the money's already gone before you can spend it, you're forced to live within what's left. And here's a pro tip: name your savings account something that inspires you. Call it Freedom Fund or Future Home instead of Savings. Every time you see that name, it reminds you of your vision. Let's talk about another example. Meet Javier, a freelance graphic designer with an unpredictable income. Some months he's flush, others, he's scraping by. Saving felt impossible because his cash flow was so inconsistent. But Javier got creative. He started using the bucket method. Every time a client paid him, he immediately put 5% into a savings account, no matter the amount. On good months, that might be $200. On lean months, it might be $20. He also set up a second bucket, an emergency fund, for unexpected expenses like a broken laptop or a medical bill. Over 2 years, those small, inconsistent deposits added up to $3,000. When a client project fell through, Javier didn't spiral into debt. He used his emergency fund to cover his bills until the next gig came in. That's what saving does. It buys you peace of mind and keeps you moving toward your goals, no matter what life throws at you. Now, saving doesn't work in a vacuum. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom if you're not managing your expenses. That's where budgeting comes in. A budget isn't a punishment or a straitjacket, it's a roadmap. It's how you tell your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Without a budget, you're driving blind, hoping you'll end up somewhere good. With a budget, you're in the driver's seat, steering toward your vision. And the best part, budgeting doesn't have to be complicated. It's about clarity, intention, and making your money work for you. Let's look at Emily, a single mom earning $45,000 a year as a schoolteacher. Between childcare, rent, and groceries, she felt like her money vanished every month. She decided to try the 50-30-20 budgeting method, which breaks your income into 3 categories: 50% for needs like housing and food, 30% for wants like dining out or entertainment, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Emily's take-home pay was about $3,000 a month after taxes. That meant $1,500 for needs, $900 for wants, and $600 for savings and paying off her credit card debt. At first, she thought it was impossible. Her needs were eating up way more than $1,500. So she got curious. She tracked every expense for a month using a free budgeting app and realized she was spending $200 on takeout and $150 on subscriptions she barely used. By cutting back to $100 for takeout and canceling 2 subscriptions, she freed up $200 to stay within her budget. That small shift let her save $300 a month and put $300 toward her credit card, all without feeling deprived. Within a year, she'd paid off $3,600 in debt and saved $3,600. That's the magic of a budget. It turns chaos into progress. If the 50-30-20 method doesn't vibe with you, try something else. There's the envelope system, where you allocate cash to different categories and stop spending when the envelope's empty. Or the zero-based budget, where every dollar is assigned a job, savings, bills, groceries, even fun money, until you hit zero. The key is to find a system that works for your life. Start by tracking your spending for 30 days. Write down every penny, coffee, gas, that random online purchase. You'll probably be shocked at where your money's going. Then, sit down and create a plan. List your income, your fixed expenses like rent or car payments, and your variable expenses like groceries or entertainment. Subtract your expenses from your income, and whatever's left goes to savings or debt repayment. If there's nothing left, look for places to cut. Maybe it's brewing coffee at home or switching to a cheaper phone plan. Every dollar you redirect is a dollar working for your future. But budgeting is only half the battle. Managing expenses with discipline is where the real work happens. It's one thing to make a plan, it's another to stick to it when life tempts you to stray. Discipline in managing expenses means saying no to things that don't align with your vision and yes to choices that move you closer to it. It's not about never spending, it's about spending intentionally. Let's go back to Sarah, the barista. She loved her daily $5 latte, but she realized those lattes were costing her $150 a month. That's $1,800 a year, enough for a vacation or a big dent in her emergency fund. She didn't quit coffee cold turkey. She invested in a $30 coffee maker and started brewing her own for 50 cents a cup. That one change saved her $120 a month, which she redirected to her savings. She still got her coffee fix, but now it was fueling her future instead of draining her wallet. Discipline also means tackling the sneaky expenses that add up without you noticing. Take subscriptions, for example. The average person spends $200 a month on streaming services, gym memberships, and apps they rarely use. That's $2,400 a year. Sit down and audit your subscriptions. Cancel anything you don't use at least weekly. If you're not sure, try this. Pause the subscription for a month. If you don't miss it, you don't need it. Another culprit is impulse buying. Online shopping makes it so easy. One click, and that shiny gadget is on its way. Try the 24-hour rule. If you want something non-essential, wait 24 hours before buying. You'd be surprised how often the urge passes. And if it doesn't, you'll know it's something you truly value. Let's talk about debt, because for many of us, it's the biggest obstacle to managing expenses. Debt is like a leak in your financial ship. Every dollar you spend on interest is a dollar you can't save or invest. There are two popular strategies for tackling debt: the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball method, championed by financial guru Dave Ramsey, focuses on paying off your smallest debt first while making minimum payments on others. Once the smallest is paid, you roll that payment into the next smallest, and so on. The quick wins keep you motivated. The avalanche method, on the other hand, prioritizes the debt with the highest interest rate, saving you more money in the long run. Both work. The key is choosing one and sticking to it. Consider Marcus, a 35-year-old IT technician with $20,000 in debt, $5,000 on a credit card at 18% interest, $10,000 in student loans at 6%, and a $5,000 car loan at 4%. He chose the avalanche method because he wanted to save on interest. He budgeted $800 a month for debt repayment, paying the minimum on his student and car loans, $300 total, and putting $500 toward the credit card. In 10 months, the credit card was gone, and he redirected that $500 to the student loan. Within 3 years, he was debt-free, saving him thousands in interest. The discipline to stick to his plan wasn't easy. There were months he wanted to splurge, but he kept his vision in sight: a life without debt payments, where every dollar he earned was his to keep or invest. Discipline also means planning for the unexpected. Life loves to throw curveballs: a flat tire, a medical bill, a broken phone. Without a plan, those expenses can derail your budget and force you into debt. That's why an emergency fund is non-negotiable. Aim for $1,000 to start, then build up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Even $500 can be a lifeline. When Javier, our freelancer, had to replace his laptop, his emergency fund covered it. Without it, he might have put it on a credit card, adding interest to his stress. Start small. $10 a week adds up to $520 in a year. Keep it in a separate, easy-to-access account, and only touch it for true emergencies, not pizza nights or new sneakers. Another way to manage expenses is to negotiate. Yes, you can negotiate more than just car prices. Call your phone or internet provider and ask for a better rate. Many will offer discounts to keep you as a customer. When Emily, the schoolteacher, called her cable company, she got her bill reduced by $20 a month just by asking. That's $240 a year back in her pocket. Look at your insurance policies, too. Shop around for better rates on car or renter's insurance every year. Small savings like these add up, freeing up more money for your goals. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, lifestyle creep. As your income grows, it's tempting to upgrade your life. A bigger apartment, a fancier car, more dinners out. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money, but if every raise disappears into new expenses, you're running in place. Instead, lock in your lifestyle and direct extra income to savings or investments. When Sarah got a $200 a month raise, she didn't upgrade her apartment. She increased her savings to $50 a week and put $50 toward her student loan. That discipline kept her on track toward her vision of buying a home. Let's weave this all together with a final example. Meet Aisha, a 32-year-old nurse with $40,000 in income and $15,000 in debt. She felt stuck, living paycheck to paycheck, until she decided to take control. She started by tracking her spending and was shocked to find $300 a month going to dining out and unused subscriptions. She created a 50/30/20 budget, cutting her wants to $200 a month and redirecting $100 to savings and $200 to debt repayment. She automated $50 a week to a savings account named Dream Fund, and used the snowball method to tackle her debt, starting with a $2,000 credit card. She negotiated her phone bill, saving $15 a month, and switched to a cheaper car insurance plan, saving another $20. Within 18 months, she paid off $5,000 in debt and saved $2,600. More importantly, she felt empowered. Every choice she made reinforced her belief that she was building wealth, not just getting by. This is what saving, budgeting, and managing expenses with discipline looks like in action. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about making intentional choices, even when they're hard, and celebrating the small wins that add up to big results. You don't need to be a financial genius or earn 6 figures to do this. You just need to start. Right now, wherever you are, you have the power to save $5, to track your spending for 1 week, to cancel one subscription you don't need. Those small acts are the bricks of your financial foundation. They're proof that you're not just dreaming of wealth, you're building it. Think back to that horizon we talked about in the first section. It's still there, shimmering with possibility. Saving, budgeting, and managing expenses are the steps that bring it closer. Each dollar you save, each budget you stick to, each expense you cut is a step toward the life you envision. You're not just managing money, you're shaping your future. And let me tell you, there's nothing more empowering than that. You're not waiting for permission or a lucky break. You're taking control, one choice at a time, and every choice is bringing you closer to financial freedom. Keep going. You're unstoppable. If this is speaking to you, if your heart is beating faster and your mind is shifting, pause for a second and ask yourself, what if I had heard this 5 years ago? Now imagine 5 years from today. If you keep listening, keep learning, and most importantly, keep acting, your life could look completely different. So don't just listen passively. Subscribe, follow, and be part of this journey. Because every step we take together brings you one step closer to the life you know you're meant to live. You've laid a solid foundation. You've shifted your mindset to believe wealth is within your reach, painted a vivid vision of your financial future, and built the discipline to save, budget, and manage your expenses like a pro. That's huge. You're no longer just reacting to life's financial demands, you're steering the ship. But let's be real. Saving $50 a week and cutting out subscriptions will only take you so far. To accelerate your journey to wealth, you need to pour more fuel into the engine. That fuel is income. Increasing your income, whether through a better job, a raise, or a side hustle, is like hitting the gas pedal on your wealth-building journey. And don't let the idea of starting small scare you. It's not about where you begin, it's about where you're headed. In this section, we're going to talk about practical ways to boost your income, how to start a side hustle that fits your life, and how to push past the fear that keeps so many people stuck. This is where you take your vision and make it move faster, and I'm right here with you, cheering you on with stories and strategies that show you it's not just possible, it's doable. Let's start with the big picture. Income is the lifeblood of wealth. The more you earn, the more you can save, invest, and use to build the life you want. But here's the catch. Most of us are taught to trade time for money, clocking hours at a job and hoping for a raise or promotion to inch us forward. That's a fine start, but relying solely on a single paycheck is like trying to fill a swimming pool with a garden hose. It works, but it's slow. To speed things up, you need to think beyond your 9 to 5. That doesn't mean quitting your job or working yourself into exhaustion. It means getting creative about how you generate income. Whether it's negotiating a raise, switching to a higher-paying career, or starting a side hustle, every extra dollar you bring in is a tool to build your future. Let's talk about increasing income within your current job first, because sometimes the fastest way to earn more is to maximize what you're already doing. Take Jamal, a 30-year-old customer service representative earning $40,000 a year. He liked his job but felt underpaid for his skills. Instead of waiting for his annual review, he decided to ask for a raise. He didn't just walk into his boss's office and demand more money, though. He prepared. He tracked his accomplishments over the past year, how he'd handled tough clients, trained new hires, and improved the team's response time by 15%. He researched salaries for similar roles in his industry and found that $45,000 was the going rate. Armed with data and confidence, he scheduled a meeting, made his case, and walked away with a $4,000 raise. That's an extra $333 a month, enough to supercharge his savings or pay down debt faster. The lesson: don't wait for your employer to notice your value. Show them. If a raise isn't on the table, consider upskilling or switching jobs. The job market rewards those who adapt. Maybe you're in retail but have a knack for tech. A 6-month online course in coding or digital marketing could land you a job paying 20% more. Or maybe you're a teacher who loves writing. Freelance copywriting on the side could bring in extra cash while you explore a new career path. Look at Lisa, a 35-year-old administrative assistant who felt stuck at $38,000 a year. She spent evenings learning graphic design through free YouTube tutorials and a $200 online course. Within a year, she landed a part-time freelance gig designing social media graphics, earning $500 a month on top of her day job. 2 years later, she transitioned to a full-time designer role paying $60,000. That's the power of investing in yourself. You don't need a fancy degree, just a willingness to learn and a clear goal. But let's say your job is maxed out, or you're not ready to make a career leap. That's where side hustles come in. A side hustle is any way you earn money outside your primary job, and it's one of the most powerful tools for building wealth from scratch. Why? Because it's flexible, it's in your control, and it can start small. The gig economy is booming. Think ride-sharing, freelancing, or selling handmade goods online. But side hustles aren't just about driving for Uber or selling old clothes on eBay. They're about leveraging your skills, passions, or even just your spare time to create income streams that grow over time. Consider Maria, a 27-year-old office manager with a passion for baking. She started making cupcakes for friends' birthdays, just for fun. People raved about her desserts, and one day a friend asked if she'd cater a baby shower for $100. Maria said yes, and that sparked an idea. She started a small Instagram page showcasing her cakes, pricing them at $30 each. At first, she got one order a month. But as word spread, she was baking 3 cakes a week, earning $360 a month for a few hours of work. She didn't need a storefront or a business loan, just her kitchen, some flour, and a phone. That extra $360 went straight to her savings, and now she's dreaming of opening a bakery. Maria's story shows that a side hustle doesn't have to be huge to make a difference. It just has to start. The beauty of side hustles is that there's something for everyone. Got a car? You could deliver groceries for $15 an hour. Love animals? Pet sitting or dog walking can earn $20 per walk in some cities. Good at writing? Freelance blogs or social media posts can pay $50 to $200 a pop. Even if you think you have no skills, you have time and effort. Take Ryan, a 24-year-old warehouse worker who started mowing lawns on weekends. He charged $30 per yard, and with 5 clients a week, he made $150 for a few hours of work. That's $600 a month, enough to fund an emergency account or start investing. The key is to match your side hustle to your life. If you're a night owl, freelance editing might be perfect. If you love being outdoors, consider landscaping or bike courier work. The options are endless, and the only limit is your willingness to try. Now, I know what you're thinking. Starting a side hustle sounds great, but where do I even begin? That's where fear creeps in, whispering that you're not ready, that you'll fail, or that you need to be an expert to start. Let me tell you something. Every successful person you admire started small and scared. The difference is they started anyway. Fear of starting small is one of the biggest roadblocks to building wealth, because we've been sold this myth that success has to be big, flashy, and instant. Social media doesn't help, with influencers flaunting 6-figure businesses that seem to appear overnight. But behind every overnight success is years of small, messy steps. The truth is, small is powerful. Small is where you learn, grow, and build momentum. Let's go back to Maria. When she baked her first paid cake, she was terrified. What if it didn't taste good? What if the client didn't pay? She didn't have a professional kitchen or a culinary degree, just a love for baking and a willingness to try. That first $30 order led to hundreds more because she didn't let fear stop her. Or take Alex, a 29-year-old teacher who wanted to tutor online to pay off his student loans. He worried he wasn't qualified enough, that no one would hire him over more experienced tutors. But he posted a $20 an hour tutoring ad on a local community board, and within a week, he had 2 students. A year later, he was tutoring 10 hours a week at $30 an hour, earning $1,200 a month. That's $14,400 a year, enough to wipe out his loans in 2 years. Alex didn't wait to be perfect. He started small, learned as he went, and turned his fear into fuel. So how do you overcome that fear and start your own side hustle? First, identify what you can offer. Make a list of your skills, hobbies, or even things you're willing to learn. Maybe you're great at organizing. Offer virtual assistant services. Love fitness. Teach yoga classes online. No skills stand out. No problem. You can deliver food, resell thrift store finds, or even rent out your parking spot if you live in a busy city. Next, do a quick market check. Look at platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or local Facebook groups to see what people are paying for. Set a low price to start. $10 an hour, $20 per project, and raise it as you gain confidence and clients. The goal isn't to get rich overnight, it's to build a stream of income that grows. Here's a practical step-by-step to get you going. Pick one idea. Say, tutoring kids in math. Create a simple profile on a platform like tutor.com or post a flyer at your local library. Set your rate at $15 an hour to attract your first clients. Spend one evening a week tutoring for 2 hours. That's $30 a week, or $120 a month. Reinvest that money into your hustle. Maybe buy a better webcam for virtual sessions or take a course to teach more subjects. As you get better, raise your rate to $25, then $40. Within 6 months, you could be earning $400 a month for 8 hours of work. That's not pocket change. That's debt repayment, savings, or seed money for a bigger venture. The key is to start now, even if it's imperfect. Another way to push past fear is to reframe failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every mistake teaches you something. When Maria's first cake order went wrong, she forgot to add sugar. Yikes. She apologized, refunded the client, and offered a free cake. That client became her biggest fan and referred 3 more customers. Failure didn't stop her, it made her better. So don't be afraid to mess up. You're not building a billion-dollar company yet. You're building a bridge to your next opportunity. Every gig, every client, every dollar earned is a step forward. Let's talk about time, because I know you're busy. A side hustle doesn't mean sacrificing your life. Start with 5 hours a week, less time than you might spend scrolling social media. Block off specific hours, like Saturday mornings or weekday evenings, and treat them like a doctor's appointment. Protect that time. Tell your friends and family you're working on something big. They'll respect it, and you'll feel accountable. And don't feel pressured to turn your side hustle into a full-time business. It can stay a side gig, bringing in $200, $500, or $1,000 a month to boost your wealth building. The point is, it's yours. You're creating income on your terms, and that's empowering. Now, let's address the mindset piece again, because fear of starting small often ties back to how we see ourselves. Maybe you think, I'm not an entrepreneur, or, I don't have what it takes. Those are just stories, like the ones we talked about in the first section. Rewrite them. You don't need to be a shark from Shark Tank to start a side hustle. You just need to be you, someone with a vision, a little discipline, and the courage to take a small step. Think of it like planting a seed. A $20 tutoring gig might not seem like much, but it's a seed that could grow into a tutoring business, a course, or even a new career. Every big dream starts small. Let's wrap this up with one more story to drive it home. Meet Tanya, a 40-year-old single mom working as a bank teller. Her $36,000 salary barely covered her bills, and she dreamed of taking her kids on a real vacation, something she'd never done. She loved crafts and started making personalized greeting cards for coworkers, just for fun. One day, a colleague suggested she sell them on Etsy. Tanya hesitated. She'd never sold anything online and worried no one would buy her little cards. But she listed 5 designs for $5 each, spending $20 on supplies. In her first month, she sold 10 cards, making $30 profit. She reinvested that into better materials and learned how to market on social media. A year later, she was selling 50 cards a month, earning $200 profit after expenses. That's $2,400 a year, enough for a family trip to Disney World. Tanya didn't quit her job or become a crafting mogul. She just started small, pushed past her fear, and turned a hobby into income that changed her family's life. Increasing your income, whether through a raise, a new job, or a side hustle, is about taking control. It's about refusing to let your current paycheck define your future. It's about starting small and letting momentum carry you forward. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to be brave enough to take the first step. That step could be asking for a raise tomorrow, signing up for a freelancing platform this weekend, or selling your first product next month. Every extra dollar you earn is a brick in the foundation of your wealth. And every time you push past fear, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. So here's your challenge. This week, pick one way to increase your income. Maybe it's updating your resume, researching a new skill, or posting your first gig online. Start small, but start. You're not just chasing money, you're chasing freedom, security, and the life you envisioned back in that first section. You've got the mindset, the discipline, and now the tools to make it real. The horizon is closer than ever, and every step you take is bringing it into focus. You're not just building wealth, you're building a legacy. Keep going. You're unstoppable. You've come so far. You've rewired your mindset to believe that wealth is not just possible but within your grasp. You've painted a vivid vision of the life you want, built the discipline to save and budget like a pro, and taken bold steps to increase your income through raises, career moves, or side hustles. You're not just dreaming anymore. You're building, brick by brick, choice by choice. Now, as we close this journey together, we're going to focus on the final pieces of the puzzle. Breaking free from debt, investing to grow your wealth, protecting your financial energy, and anchoring yourself in a long-term wealth mindset that will carry you not just to financial freedom but to a life of purpose and possibility. This is where it all comes together, where the seeds you've planted start to bloom. Let's dive in, because you're not just close to your goals, you're on the verge of transforming your life. Let's start with debt freedom, because for so many of us, debt is the anchor dragging us down. It's the credit card bill that keeps you up at night, the student loan that feels like a life sentence, the car payment that eats up your paycheck. Debt isn't just a number, it's a weight on your shoulders, stealing your peace and your potential. But here's the truth. You have the power to break free. Debt freedom isn't about luck or a big windfall, it's about strategy, discipline, and the same self-determination you've been cultivating all along. Getting out of debt is like climbing a mountain. Tough, sometimes exhausting, but absolutely worth it when you reach the summit and see the view. Take Rachel, a 32-year-old nurse with $25,000 in debt, $10,000 in credit cards, $12,000 in student loans, and a $3,000 medical bill. She felt trapped, like every dollar she earned was already spoken for. But she decided to take control. She used the debt snowball method, focusing on the smallest debt first, the $3,000 medical bill. She budgeted $500 a month for debt repayment, paying the minimum on her other debts, $200 total, and throwing $300 at the medical bill. In 10 months, it was gone. That victory gave her momentum. She rolled the $300 into her credit card payments, tackling the $10,000 next. Within 2 years, her credit cards were paid off, and she was down to just her student loans. By year 3, she was debt-free, with an extra $500 a month to save or invest. Rachel didn't win the lottery, she just made a plan and stuck to it. That's the kind of power you have right now. If the snowball method isn't your style, try the avalanche method, which we touched on earlier. It focuses on the highest interest debt first, saving you money over time. Let's say you have a $5,000 credit card at 18% interest and a $10,000 car loan at 5%. The avalanche method would have you pay minimums on the car loan and throw every extra dollar at the credit card, since that 18% interest is eating you alive. Either way, the key is to pick a strategy, commit to it, and celebrate every win. Each debt you pay off is a chain you break, giving you more freedom to build wealth. And don't forget to protect yourself while you're paying off debt. Keep that $1,000 emergency fund we talked about in the second section. It's your safety net, so a flat tire or a doctor's visit doesn't push you back into borrowing. Once you're on the path to debt freedom, it's time to look forward and start investing. Investing is how your money starts working for you, growing while you sleep, and turning those small savings into real wealth. I know investing can sound intimidating, like it's only for Wall Street types with fancy suits and finance degrees. But that's a myth. Investing is for you, no matter where you're starting. It's not about having a lot of money, it's about making what you have grow over time. The sooner you start, the more powerful it becomes, thanks to the magic of compound interest. Let's break it down with an example. Meet Chris, a 25-year-old retail worker earning $30,000 a year. He started saving $100 a month after getting his budget under control. Instead of letting that money sit in a savings account earning 0.5% interest, he opened a low-cost investment account and put it into a broad market index fund, which tracks the overall stock market and historically returns about 7% annually after inflation. At $100 a month, Chris is investing $1,200 a year. If he keeps this up for 30 years, assuming a 7% return, his account could grow to over $120,000 by age 55. That's not because he's rich, it's because he started early and let time do the heavy lifting. If he waits 10 years to start, he'd need to invest twice as much to get the same result. The lesson: time is your greatest asset. Start now, even if it's $20 a month. So where do you begin? If your employer offers a 401k with a match, that's free money, take it. Contribute at least enough to get the full match, say 4% of your salary. If you don't have a 401k, open an individual retirement account IRA. A Roth IRA is great for most people because you pay taxes now, and your withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. You can start with as little as $50 a month through platforms like Vanguard or Fidelity, which offer low-fee index funds. Don't try to pick individual stocks or time the market. That's a gamble, not investing. Stick to diversified funds that spread your money across hundreds of companies. It's simple, low risk, and built for the long haul. If you're nervous, start by reading a beginner-friendly book like The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins, or take a free online investing course. Knowledge kills fear, and the more you learn, the more confident you'll feel. But investing isn't just about retirement accounts. Once you've got your emergency fund and debt under control, consider other options. Real estate, for example, can be a powerful wealth builder. You don't need to buy a rental property outright. Start small with a real estate investment trust, which lets you invest in properties for as little as $100 through apps like Fundrise. Or take Mia, a 29-year-old teacher who saved $5,000 and used it as a down payment on a duplex. She lived in one unit and rented the other, covering her mortgage and building equity. 5 years later, her property was worth $50,000 more, and she had a steady rental income. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. It's about putting your money where it can grow. Now, let's talk about protecting your financial energy, because building wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about staying focused and resilient. Your financial energy is the mental and emotional fuel that keeps you moving forward. It's easy to burn out when you're juggling budgets, side hustles, and debt payments, especially when life throws curveballs. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries, managing stress, and surrounding yourself with people and habits that support your goals. Think of it like guarding a flame. You've worked hard to light it, so don't let it flicker out. Start by setting boundaries with your time and money. Say no to things that don't align with your vision. If your friends are always pushing you to splurge on expensive dinners, suggest a potluck instead. If social media makes you feel like you're falling behind, limit your scrolling to 15 minutes a day. Take care of your mental health, too. Wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint, and you can't run on empty. Schedule time for things that recharge you, whether it's a walk, a hobby, or just 10 minutes of quiet. When Rachel was paying off her debt, she felt overwhelmed until she started meditating for 5 minutes each morning. That small habit helped her stay calm and focused, making it easier to stick to her plan. Another way to protect your energy is to surround yourself with the right people. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. Find friends, mentors, or online communities who share your wealth-building mindset. When Jamal was negotiating his raise, he joined a career development group online and got advice from people who'd done it successfully. Their encouragement gave him the confidence to ask for what he deserved. Avoid naysayers who tell you your goals are unrealistic or that money is the root of all evil. Those voices can drain your energy and make you doubt yourself. Instead, seek out stories of people like you who've built wealth from scratch. They're proof it's possible, and their energy will lift you up. Protecting your financial energy also means avoiding scams and too-good-to-be-true schemes. If someone promises you quick riches through crypto trading or a guaranteed investment, run the other way. Stick to proven strategies like index funds, real estate, or building a business you understand. When Chris started investing, he almost fell for a flashy online course promising 50% returns. Instead, he did his research, stuck with low-cost funds, and avoided losing his hard-earned $1,200. Trust your gut, do your homework, and remember, slow and steady builds lasting wealth. This brings us to the final piece, cultivating a long-term wealth mindset. Wealth isn't a destination you arrive at, it's a way of thinking and living that sustains you for life. A wealth mindset is about seeing money as a tool, not a goal. It's about making choices today that set you up for freedom tomorrow. It's about believing that no matter where you start, you can always move forward. This mindset doesn't just help you build wealth, it helps you keep it, grow it, and use it to create a life that matters. A long-term wealth mindset means embracing patience. Wealth building is a journey, and there will be setbacks. Markets dip, side hustles flop, unexpected expenses pop up. But every challenge is a chance to learn and keep going. When Mia's duplex needed a $2,000 repair, she didn't panic. She used her emergency fund and adjusted her budget. She saw it as part of the process, not a reason to give up. That's the mindset you need. One that says, I'm in this for the long haul, and nothing can stop me. It also means redefining what wealth means to you. For some, it's $1 million in the bank. For others, it's owning a home, traveling the world, or retiring early to spend time with family. Whatever your definition, let it guide your choices. When you're tempted to overspend or skip a savings goal, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my version of wealth? That question keeps you grounded. It's why Rachel kept her old car even after paying off her debt. She wanted to invest the money she'd have spent on a car payment. It's why Chris lives below his means, knowing every dollar invested now is a step toward early retirement. Finally, a wealth mindset is about giving back. Wealth isn't just for you, it's for the people and causes you care about. As you build wealth, think about how you can use it to make a difference. Maybe it's helping your kids go to college, donating to a charity, or mentoring someone else on their financial journey. Giving back doesn't just feel good, it reinforces your purpose and keeps you connected to something bigger. When Maria, our baker from the third section, started making steady income from her cake business, she donated a dozen cupcakes to a local fundraiser. That small act reminded her why she was working so hard, not just for herself, but for her community. Now, let's bring this journey to a close with a moment of reflection. Picture that horizon again, the one we talked about at the very start. It's not so far away now, is it? You've taken steps, big and small, that have brought it into sharper focus. You've rewritten the stories that held you back, painted a vision that lights you up, and built the discipline to save, budget, and manage your money with intention. You've pushed past fear to increase your income, whether through a raise, a new job, or a side hustle that's uniquely yours. And now, you're breaking free from debt, investing for the future, protecting your energy, and embracing a mindset that will carry you through decades of wealth building. This isn't just a financial journey, it's a transformation. I want you to pause for a second and feel the weight of that. You're not the same person who started this audiobook. You're stronger, clearer, more determined. You've proven to yourself that you can take control, that you can make hard choices, that you can build something extraordinary from nothing. Maybe you're not debt-free yet. Maybe you're still saving your first $1,000 or investing your first $50. That's okay. Every step you've taken is a victory. Every dollar saved, every debt paid, every side hustle launched is a testament to your power. You're not just building wealth, you're building a legacy, a life that reflects who you are and what you value most. So here's my final challenge to you, keep going. Don't let this be the end of your journey. Take what you've learned and make it part of who you are. Check your budget this week. Set up that investment account. Reach out to a mentor or friend who inspires you. Start that side hustle you've been dreaming about, even if it's just 1 hour a week. And when you feel tired, When you doubt yourself, when the road feels long, come back to this moment. Remember the spark you felt when you realized you could do this. Remember the vision that's pulling you forward. Remember that you are capable, resilient, and unstoppable. You're standing at the edge of possibility, and the view is breathtaking. This is your life, your story, your wealth. You've got everything you need to make it happen. Not because of luck or privilege, but because of your determination, your choices, your heart. So go out there and build it. Build it for you, for your family, for the dreams that keep you up at night. The horizon isn't just close, it's yours to claim. Take it. You've earned it. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take one step. Just one. Maybe it's writing down your financial vision. Maybe it's deleting a shopping app. Maybe it's sitting still and saying out loud, I am in control of my financial life. Whatever that step is, do it today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Because action is where transformation begins. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. This is your moment. Own it. Did you like this audio? Please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated whenever we post a new audio. See you in the next one.